So I won't bore you with too many details about me. I didn't know that Sophie was going to be introducing me, but um, I've been fortunate to be in a lot of different roles over the past 10 or 11 years on sort of my own personal rotation journey. I'm really excited about working with entrepreneurs. That's actually where I started my career. I was working at a business incubator in Indiana, helping entrepreneurs write their business plans and do very special projects to help them accelerate their business. Uh, as Sophie mentioned, I was at Forrester, did some tech research and consulting, then did tech M&A at Merrill Lynch, and finally at eBay. We'll spend most of our time today talking about some of the learnings that I've been fortunate to have at eBay. First is an M&A deal captain, basically helping eBay decide which companies we would either invest in or potentially acquire. And then now, in my current role, in strategic partnerships. So I know that that's a little bit of alphabet soup, but basically what I mean by verticals and seller partnerships is if you think about eBay, eBay has on the left navigation side of its homepage a variety of different categories that we refer to as verticals that we actually manage. So for example, the motors business, the fashion business, the parts and accessories business. And my team's role is to help those businesses accelerate their objectives by finding partners that they can collaborate with. On the seller side, we have a seller experience team that's completely dedicated to our sellers and is focused on both our C2C sellers, so that's me selling to you an item, as well as our B2C sellers, so that's someone like Toys R Us selling on our platform that you and I would buy from. And so I'm focused on seller tools, seller experiences, even seller acquisition, integration, scaling, partnerships that can help drive those objectives. So what are we going to cover today? I think first we're going to talk about eBay. What is eBay? What does it do? What is its mission? Who are our customers? We're going to look at that within the context of marketplaces. And then after we have more context on eBay, we're going to talk about go-to-market strategy and specifically the role of strategic partnerships. We'll look at it from two perspectives, both in terms of how a corporate BD team looks at strategic partnerships, because as you guys scale your businesses, you may look to an eBay or another company to potentially partner with to help those businesses grow. And then also we'll look at it from the perspective of you as an entrepreneur. Like, how do you make the decisions as to whether or not you build, buy, or partner? And if we have time, and you guys aren't too shy, we'll do a few role plays where we'll call some people up. We'll give you some time to think about potential partnership ideas you would have with eBay, given that we would give you some context, and then we'll role play. You guys can bounce partnership ideas off of me, and we'll treat it as if I was having an actual BD call with you, and hopefully that'll help you guys get some additional experience. And then last, we'll spend some time talking about just wrapping up with key takeaways and any Q&A you guys may have. Does that sound good? Yep. All righty. Oops, going the wrong way here. All right, so first let's talk about marketplaces. Who knows what a marketplace is? All right, who wants to tell me what a marketplace is?
Where buyers and sellers interact.
Okay. What separates a marketplace from a retailer? Okay, anybody can buy and sell. So that's an important distinction. I think a marketplace is really a platform that facilitates third parties that may or may not have ever met each other, may not know each other whatsoever, to actually be able to transact within a trusted environment. So for eBay, that's our buyers and sellers. Can others think of other examples of marketplaces? Amazon isn't really a marketplace, it's more of a retailer because they take possession of inventory, but a good example. Think outside of just a pure Airbnb is a great example, right? Sorry, what? Yes. So you think about Airbnb, for example, you have hosts and you have guests. Neither of them know each other. Many of them don't even meet each other because they just have keys ready for the guests to come and open their residence. And Airbnb facilitates those two parties to come together and be able to transact. With eBay, our marketplace is comprised of buyers and sellers. Our marketplace is focus on these two customer segments, and they have very different needs. They have very different priorities that we have to satisfy at the same time in order for them to have a positive both buying and selling experience. So for us, that's, from the seller's perspective, that's making the listing process as simple as possible. So if I decide that I want to sell this shirt, it's really easy for me to list the shirt, to take a picture of the shirt, to provide a description of the shirt, and then very seamlessly put it on the eBay platform. For a buyer, it's being able to find that shirt. It's being able to search, say I want a purple shirt, being able to see that search result, being able to simply select, transact, be able to pay for it, and then for both the buyer and seller to have a seamless shipping experience so that that shirt gets to the buyer in the way it's been described, it gets there quickly, it gets there without any problems, and then feedback so that both buyers and sellers can talk about what worked well and what didn't so that the next transaction is even more seamless.